Good morning, Big Brother fans. Tuesday, July 30th. And we're still waiting for we're waiting. It's Tuesday, we're waiting for Thursday. Not a whole lot's gonna... Well, we had a power veto yesterday, I guess. I was gonna say it's been quiet, but I guess there was the power veto meeting when as expected. Although I think maybe... Did I say I thought it was going to be... I said it could be Nicole, possibly, but in reality, yeah, Cat was put up. Holly put up Cat. She's been promised safety. She seems relatively safe. It does seem like Sam's the one going. So far there has been no drama today or anything. Sam's trying to work up like he's going to blow up Christy's game when he gets evicted. I don't know how he's going to blow up the game. I mean, he may say some stuff, but in the end, I don't think it's really going to mess up Christy's game that much. I don't know what secrets Sam thinks he has that other people in the house don't know. So he may say something. I mean, it'd be better to say things that drop hints at things that may not even be true. You know, things that make Christy paranoid and have her going around asking questions. That might be, part of it. Make up an alliance that's been going on and sorry it couldn't, last. Or, just throw some wild stuff out there that would just set off people and get them confused and paranoid. I just don't see Sam particularly blowing up Chris's game. Plus, he told people he's going to do it, and word's gotten back. You announce it to when you're people that are not in the main alliance keep going back and telling everybody everything. It doesn't help. I mean, both Cliff and Nick told other people, including, I think, Christy, that this is part of Sam's plan. So, you're not going to blindside or surprise somebody when your alliance mates, even if they're not in an alliance, people that aren't in the main alliance can't keep their mouths shut and everybody has to feed them back information. They've got it good. The Annalise is definitely showing her age and her maturity level. She can't... First of all, there's a couple things going on. She cannot keep a story straight. That's the one thing we learned yesterday. We watched her try to do a retell of a story, and she just couldn't remember half of it. Well, this is a memory competition. There's things that you can't remember exactly what was said in a conversation you just had. She can't spell things. We know that. She doesn't like big words. I'm thinking there was one reason she was cast. And I think most of you can guess what that is. She's pretty easy on the eyes, and so there you go. It certainly was not for her brain. But that's what's interesting. I mean, when they're casting and they do all kinds of batteries of tests on these people. They had to look and go like, yeah, she's not going to win. She's not very smart. Couldn't they find, if you're looking for the attractive female, couldn't they find an attractive female that had brains too? They are out there. They don't all have to be attractive, but at the same time, if you're going to find an attractive girl, find one who knows what they're doing, not someone who's total... I can't imagine. I want to know who was next in line behind Annalise that didn't make the cut. Because, to me, she was not necessarily the best choice, but whatever. She's there. She's angry at somebody all the time. I think she was angry at Kat yesterday. Yeah, she's jealous. She thinks Kat is flirting with Jack. So she's jealous of and mad at Kat. But she always talks about blowing up at somebody and saying that now we've discovered that that's a bunch of hot air. She doesn't actually do it. Nick is still working to get back in the graces of the 6 alliance or the 8 without Bella, and he may do okay. We're still at the picking off edges, and there's a lot of edges to pick off still. You've got Cliff, Jessica, remember her? Nicole. None of those 3 are even up this week. They're all still very much potential people to go next. And the killer will be when one of them goes up and nominates one of the others in their same pile instead of one of the 6. Nick, Cliff, Jessica, and Nicole. That is 4 people. And yet, they will likely not go after the 6 if any of them get it. At least that's my take. They probably will, but you start to throw your hands up in the air. I think maybe Christy and Tommy get rid of their punishment costume today. I watched Sunday Night Show last night. I never watched it Sunday night. And a couple of things I noted, which is just kind of barely important, but just more things of note. They had so little footage of the house guests before Jessica dropped that if you go back and watch the beginning, there's actually a couple of cuts where Jessica's already dropped and you see her stirrups dangling there because it was something that Christy said or something that they wanted to include. But it was before Jessica dropped. I mean, in the timeline, the way they told it, this happened, oh, here they all are. Oh, look, Jessica says something funny. Or not Jessica. Christy says something funny. When she said that funny thing, Jessica was out. And you can see her stirrups dangling there. And then they cut back, and Jessica's suddenly there again in the stirrups. So, I don't know how important it was. I guess most people probably didn't notice, but to me, it bothered me that they decided that it was that line was so important that they in their sequence that it was worth showing. Empty dangling stirrups. They also didn't show Tommy recover. We had an argument about this on the show on Saturday when the way Colette was telling it, I got ticky-tacky, like, well, no, technically he recovered, and said he fell out, and they didn't show Tommy recover. They just showed him lose his footing and then fall. They did show Kat recover, so there was that. Which is interesting. Again, they made the choice not to show Tommy recover, but to show Kat recover. That is an actual choice, in my opinion. It paints Kat in a different light than it paints Tommy. If Tommy shows recover too, it's like, he's strong. They didn't show that part. What else? I gave 5 seconds to the slop count because they showed Jackson drinking beer, saying that the have-nots was over. That's about 5 seconds worth, in my opinion. There was no new introduction of new have-nots. So we're at 1 minute and 25 seconds in the total season have-not time. I'm not going to count things like shots of them sitting in the have-not room. I'm talking about, they did. They mentioned because they were have-nots, they had to sleep in the room together. I'm going to have to amend that time. I'm going to have to go back and refigure it out now. Because the whole farting sequence in the have-not room was mentioned that because they were have-nots, they had to sleep in that room. I'm going to have to decide how to qualify that. Does that whole segment earn a have-not? Does that earn have-not time? Or is that just funny farting video that happened to be in the have-not room? I may have to give them a fraction of time. Because that could have happened in any room. It could have happened anywhere. It was just because they were in the have-not. But they were in the have-not room because they were forced to be have-nots. All right. With that, I'm sorry. I'm all over the map. I got nothing. They may be losing their... the have-nots may be done... Not the have-nots. The punishment may be done for Christy and Tommy today. Tommy mentioned like being able to get out Sunday, I think, or Tuesday. So that could be done. Yeah. I'm about to park, so now my brain is thinking, where do I drive? What do I do? Where do I park? I don't expect... There's lots of scurrying going around. There's lots of cracks in the Six Alliance. There's lots of little twists and turns, and things are happening. But right now it's clear that Sam is the one going home on Thursday's show, and I have no clue. Oh, Jackson's sick too. Yes, Jackson may have eaten some bad tuna. That seems to be the consensus, is that it's the fish that he ate, and that has made him ill. So there is that. I'm sure he'll be okay though. Jackson is known to recover, or he's known to have very, very strong. He'll eat. He will. Once he recovers, he'll be eating quite well, and people will be noting it and commenting on it. That is one of the things to watch this season, watching Jackson eat. And watching the retells of stories. Christy's retelling of stories, how many times she retells it and how she changes it along the way. That's another thing that's done a lot by people. And Annalise complaining about her fellow house guests and how she's going to go off on them. That's another one that happens a lot. All right, I'm parked. Sorry, it was kind of an all over the map kind of one. I could have the same thing tomorrow possibly, because again, we're in the doldrums of the week. Monday after Power Veto, Tuesday, Wednesday tend to be kind of slow, I don't know what's going on. And especially when there's a pretty clear choice of who's going home. So you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. I don't know if I won't do a mid-morning update today. I have run out of my hours. Let's talk Spreaker for just a second. So, I use Spreaker to record this. I did add myself to a couple of additional sites for podcasting. Spreaker had the option to Google Play, which I thought I already was on there, and then Cast something. I don't know what it was. A couple of apps apparently maybe it'll start showing up on, so some of you may suddenly be discovering this that way. Hi, I'm Mike. Nice to meet you. And I used up, now I had done it earlier, but I used up my 100 hours cumulative total of time. 100 hours maximum is the most you can use, and then you have to, they won't let you do anymore. They don't drop it off at the end. You have to go in and delete it, that's kind of annoying. So I actually had to log in and either delete or download and save my oldest podcast. That's how I chose to do it. It's kind of which I'm sure they don't make it easy to do, but I literally had to scroll all the way to the end. It turned out to be like 2.5 years ago worth of podcasts. I had to go back. I could just start deleting them from the front end, but who wants to do that? So I went back, started downloading them. I downloaded about I think an hour's worth. So I can record another hour's worth, including this one, before I have to do it again. I got 100 hours. It takes a long time. I only do 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at most at a time. So every one of those is a click. So it's one of the downsides of Spreaker. But again, it's $50 a year, and it seems to work really well. So that's the news on the Spreaker front. Those of you that even care, most of you don't even give a darn about this. And that's it. All right, now I'm done talking, as I am almost all the way to work. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one. And happy Tuesday. Bye-bye.